The Rise, Fall, and Redemption of Rio Da Yung OG, a story of pain, hustle, and comeback. Flint, Michigan's very own Rio Da Yung OG was poised to shake the rap world in 2019. His unfiltered lyrics, raw storytelling, and gritty delivery struck a chord with listeners looking for authenticity in hip-hop. But just as his career began to take off, Rio's dreams were put on hold. A federal charge landed him in prison, cutting his rise short before he could fully capitalize on his momentum. Now that he's back, Rio is determined to claim his spot in the rap game, fueled by a story of perseverance, heartbreak, and determination that many fans have never heard. From a tumultuous upbringing to life-altering tragedies, Rio's journey is a testament to his resilience. Rio's life began with challenges from day one. Born to a mother battling addiction, he faced an uncertain future. His biological mother, unable to care for him, gave him up for adoption just 3 days after his birth. A close friend of hers adopted Rio, and he grew up believing this woman was his biological mother. For years, Rio remained unaware of the truth about his adoption. He lived a seemingly normal life in Flint, Michigan, until a heated argument with a cousin changed everything. During the fight, his cousin revealed that Rio wasn't biologically related to the family. The revelation was a shock that turned Rio's world upside down, and his music. Rio has been open about the pain and confusion this caused him. On the song Molly, he shared, "Now I'm gonna say a bunch of expletive. I have bottled in / I barely know my family. I was adopted in / he gave me 2 Glocks for 1 verse. I got adopted twins / plus my auntie overdosed off pills. That's why I pop perk 10s. Despite his adoptive mother's love and care, Rio struggled with feelings of rejection. These feelings intensified when he learned that his biological mother had gone on to have 2 more children after him but chose to keep them. This left Rio grappling with questions of self-worth and identity that would follow him throughout his life. Rio's relationship with his biological father was another source of pain. He didn't meet his father until he was 18 years old. By that time, the absence had already left its mark. On the track Do That, Rio reflected on the strained relationship, where the expletive, "Would I be if I listened to my pops? / he ain't even say expletive, I ain't even see the expletive, till I was 18. Without a stable father figure or a clear sense of his roots, Rio found himself drifting toward the streets. Just 12 years old, Rio's life took another tragic turn. Already experimenting with drugs, he was high one day and decided to fry some food. He turned on the stove, placed a pot of oil to heat, and walked away to finish smoking. The situation turned dangerous when Rio forgot about the pot, and the oil caught fire. Panicked, he grabbed the burning pot and tried to extinguish the flames by pouring water on it. The attempt backfired, causing the oil to splash onto his face and arms. The burns were so severe that Rio believed he might die. When his adoptive mother rushed him to the hospital, doctors warned him not to look in the mirror, knowing the sight of his injuries would be too traumatic. Though he eventually healed, the scars on his face became permanent. Rio was offered a skin graft to minimize the scarring, but he declined. Today, he embraces his scars, saying they make him unique and unforgettable. Rio didn't initially see rap as a career. His entry into music came through a chance friendship with RMC Mike, another Flint artist. When they first met, Rio was selling weed, and Mike was involved in breaking into houses. Despite living in the same neighborhood, the two didn't become close until after the tragic death of a mutual cousin. Following the loss, Rio and Mike began spending more time together. Their bond strengthened, and they eventually started recording music. Their chemistry was undeniable, with their contrasting styles complementing each other perfectly. Rio's brother, Louis Ray, was already making waves in Flint's rap scene and had connections in Detroit. Through Louis, Rio met Peasy, a legendary figure in Detroit's rap community. Peasy, who had been a part of the influential Team East Side crew, became a mentor to Rio. Peasy showed Rio the ropes, teaching him how to monetize his music through streams, features, and live performances. He encouraged Rio to take his talent seriously, emphasizing that rap could be a legitimate way out of the streets. Unfortunately, Peasy's mentorship was cut short when he faced legal issues of his own. Despite this setback, Peasy's guidance left a lasting impact on Rio, inspiring him to go all in on his music career. In February 2019, Rio's career faced its biggest hurdle yet. He was charged with conspiracy to possess and distribute heroin and cocaine, based on wiretapped phone calls. He also faced a gun charge. Despite legally owning the firearm in question, with his freedom on the line, Rio decided to plead guilty to the gun charge while denying involvement in the drug conspiracy. Knowing his time was limited, he threw himself into his music. While on house arrest, Rio faced strict restrictions that prevented him from going to the studio or shooting music videos. Undeterred, He adapted by recording tracks at home, often while holding and feeding his infant son. His dedication paid off, and his music began gaining traction. Rio's cousin helped him upload his music to streaming platforms, and his debut mixtape dropped in 2019. To everyone's surprise, the project quickly took off. Within 3 weeks, Rio earned $1,600 from streams, a moment that showed him the potential of his music. Encouraged by the success, Rio released another mixtape just 2 weeks later, with even greater results. Despite his growing popularity, Rio had to balance his music career with a regular job to make ends meet while fighting his legal battles. Eventually, Rio went to prison. While behind bars, his work ethic and the music he'd recorded beforehand ensured that his name stayed alive in the rap scene. Fans continued to stream his songs, drawn to the raw emotion and honesty in his lyrics. Now that Rio is out, he's more determined than ever to take over the rap game. With a catalog of music that tells the story of his struggles and triumphs, Rio Da Yung OG is ready to turn his pain into power. His scars, both physical and emotional, have become symbols of his resilience and authenticity. Rio's journey is far from over, but one thing is clear. He's not just a rapper, he's a survivor, a storyteller, and a voice for Flint.